I want to tell you the story of Racing Unleashed, where I'm CEO of. Why do we even exist? What is our plan? What is our vision? We want to talk to motorsport enthusiasts around the globe and give them what they desired but never got. Motorsports is unlike every other sport. It is the most elitist, expensive, unreachable sport in the world. Looking at the pinnacle of motorsports, the Formula One, there is no other sport in the world that can make billions of dollars in revenues with just 20 athletes. There is no other sport that has over 500 million fans just for 20 racers. F1 racers are stars, they are heroes, they are rich, but there is no sport like motorsport more difficult to enter and to play. If you take that sport seriously, as a youngster, you spend 100 to 150,000 euros for a karting season at your young age between 5 and 7 years. So if your parents are not rich, you might not even get to start, even if you would have the talent or the dream to become a pro racer. Getting to the next level, GT4, GT3, etc., we are talking about 300,000 euros plus. Continuing, it gets easily into the millions. If you compare that with another sports like soccer, European football, you buy a ball for $20, next day you're a soccer player. So every fan gets to experience what it's like to play football. The only experience the poor F1 fan gets, watching a race on TV with a beer in one hand, a pack of chips on the other hand. That's all you get. And still 500 million fans go for that. So how many people might be cricket fans or tennis fans on this planet, and how many people can drive a car? As we speak, there are 1.9 billion car drivers running the globe. If just 1 out of 1,000 would drive as a sport, from hobby to professional driver, we would talk about 1.9 million athletes. So Racing Unleashed is going to change the situation I just described drastically now. Using the most advanced simulation technologies in software and hardware, we want to create a global sports. We want to make sim racing a serious job, a profession that can feed your family. How do we do that? Today, sim racing is a nice niche gaming industry with roughly 50 million gamers globally, but you race mainly from your own PC, from your PlayStation, from your own sim rig at home. Nobody will pay you real money for winning here. You will hardly ever be able to live from that activity, and you might never become a world-renowned star. So to create a real sport, you have to compete in a control environment with the governance supervising the fairness and the rules of the game. We have created exactly that environment, that infrastructure in our racing lounges of Racing Unleashed. A racing lounge, you might have to imagine, is a location with 10 to 50 professional full motion simulators like the ones you will see here exposed. They are internationally interconnected, so they are not only connected in the lounge but across lounges, so international races can take place where, for example, racers can drive in our lounge in Madrid. Some racers may be sitting in Munich, some will race from London, and they meet on the virtual racetrack simultaneously and compete. Our goal is to expand our franchise to land in 150 global cities and organize races for thousands of racers, enthusiasts and motorsports fans. So to elevate sim racing from a hobby played out of your living room to an internationally respected sports, we all need to create a movement. So let's do this together. We cannot do that alone. Let's join that movement, support Racing Unleashed. Visit us in our lounges or simply contact us. And now let's fire up the engines. Go.
Good afternoon and welcome to Racing Unleashed, where we go beyond the pinnacle here for the season of 2024-2025. It is Challenge 5 and we are here in Portimão for the Autódromo do Algarve. What a circuit this is, one of my personal favourites, and it is an absolutely beautiful technical track to get right. And not only do we have a brand new circuit to the calendar, but we have a brand new car. The Formula 2 car will be at the Challenger League drivers' disposal for this week, and we cannot be happier than to see that car take to the circuit later on in the programme. But first up, it is the Racer League drivers who will be taking to the track here in Algarve, bringing back the one-shot qualifying, which will be all important for these drivers to get absolutely right. And it's going to be an interesting session today. The race coming up later on as well. What a show we have in store for you. What a track and what a set of drivers. We have a few new drivers as well. We've got a debutant making the grid today, Andrin Christoffel making the grid. And we have in the Challenger League the sim racing couple. Go and check them out on Instagram. Fantastic to see Astrid Vollenweider and her partner Sasha Rumpel there. This, though, is your current standings in the Racer League. It is Alejandro Sanchez who leads the way from that of Michael Schmiedel, with Ciro Zambra P3. Koke Lopez, great win last time out, he's P4. Wojciech Plesnio is in 5th place, with Angelo Mikel just behind him in 6th. Yannick Pletcher, top 7, great result on the podium last time out. Christoph Holstein's in 8th. Sebastian Hirsch, P9. Enrique Marion is P10. Florian Horster sits 11th place with Senan Demirbas P12. Augustin Torlacci 13th from Nico Farland. Mohamed Ramsey, Marcus Valverde, David C, Joshua Hayder, Lorenzo Hayder and Dominic Dedic yet to score a point so far this season in this championship. That isn't then the top 10 that get reversed, because it is that one-shot qualifying coming back to our screens today. And if I'm just looking at the driver list in front of me, a good list of drivers that are making this race today. It should be a really interesting lineup that we have for you in this Racer League around this beautiful, beautiful circuit. Obviously, one of the talking points this week has been, or this month in between the last two races, has been the fact that we have got the Formula 2 car now at the disposal for the Challenger League drivers. And I got the chance to listen to a couple of drivers on the Discord over the last week or so, and they've been saying how tricky it has been to drive and how much difficult and different it is in terms of its driving ability and the way they've got to get used to everything. One of the bonuses for these drivers, though, going forward is this will help them develop their skills and hone their skills if they are to make that step up into the Racer League. At the moment, it's going to be an interesting day to see who will come out on top, because this now could reshuffle the order and Salva Talens may no longer be the top dog. But it's Racer League time, and it is Alejandro Sanchez who is the main man out here at the moment. He's been the guy who has taken so far 2 wins to his name, which has been 3 of Madrid's wins this season. Munich winning the one race. He's taken 2 wins this season. Koke Lopez the other. Madrid with 3 wins. Angelo Mikel and Munich have taken 1 win apiece. But the Autódromo do Algarve, what a place to be. An absolutely beautiful circuit. You can just see it has a bit of everything which makes it an all-round complete circuit. It's got technical parts of the track, it's got some flowing areas of the circuit, and it's got a few straights as well to challenge, to use the drivers, maybe make them use their push to pass up and down the streets. In towards turn 1 then, Primera at the moment into turn 2, no name for that one there. Turn 3 though of Lagos, a hairpin right-hand bend, all come up pretty quickly as you get through 1. Uphill through turn 4, very tricky corner to get right. Good bit of straight now here, where push to pass may come into effect this afternoon before you head down to turn 5. Torre Vip is the hairpin corner at the bottom end of the circuit. Climbing once again back uphill in towards turn 6, then into turn 7, and again another group of corners that come up pretty quick. Turn 8 of Samsung, you've got to get right as well. Very easy for the rear end to go light on you there and just drop the rear round. Turn 9 is Craig Jones as you come into 10 and 11 of Portimão itself. The double right-hander, crucial to get that second apex absolutely nailed. Down into 12 as you drop downhill and back uphill into 13. Using all the curb on the entry and on the exit. Turn 14 then, the long right-hander. You have to go around a bit of a hurry up and wait corner, as is this. Is any driver going to be able to take Galp flat? Turn 15, that is going to be the interesting question before heading down and having that run over the start line and back towards the checkered flag. Here it is on screen, the lovely layout of this track. As I said at the top of the show, one of my personal favourites to come to is Algarve. It's a beautiful place, and it's going to be an interesting fight to see what these drivers can do as we go through today. If you are wondering, yes, we are a little earlier on air, about half an hour earlier on the air today, trying a new start time for today's proceedings. So this could be an interesting one to see what happens as we go through proceedings today. We are awaiting then the qualifying format at the moment to get underway, in which we'll be able to see the one car go around and do a lap, but we like to try and pick a different driver all the time to see their one flying lap, because they do them individually. They will not see the other drivers on their screens, meaning that they cannot be put off, they cannot be attacked by other drivers, they cannot be blocked by other drivers. Today's choice is Michael Schmiedel, one of our championship protagonists, and currently sat second place in the standings on his outlap at the moment. And this is interesting now, because with the drivers only getting to do see themselves or have no other cars around them to interfere, pressure is on them to make sure they nail this lap as best they can. Obviously, we are seeing Michael Schmiedel, defending champion, currently second place, hasn't had an answer yet to Alejandro Sanchez, 4 races in, without a race win to his name, which is very unlike Michael Schmiedel, that is to say the least. As he comes round the final corner now to start his first flying lap of the afternoon. What is he going to be able to do then as he comes down and over the start line then? Here he comes to start his first flying lap down in towards turn 1. You come downhill, heavy braking zone, get 1 right, watch the track limits on the outside, then through 2, straight into 3. On the brakes hard, you see a little lock up there from Schmiedel. Flick it to the left, flick it right, back up for the left-hander of turn 4, over the curb, don't use too much, don't get greedy, and he's just done absolutely perfect, dropping downhill before the hairpin corner. Once again, another slight lock up there you see from Schmiedel as they come in towards turn 6. Now into 7, using as much of the curb, entry and exit you can see as possible. Crucial corner to get right there. Nails it. Now up and over the crest. Downhill you drop. Bit like being on a roller coaster up towards Portimão. Once again, 10 and 11. Keeps it wide. Gets that entry on the second part of the corner. Absolutely beautifully done at the minute from Michael Schmiedel. And this looks a pretty decent lap here from the driver from the Czech Republic. As Michael Schmiedel then, using all the off again, another lock up a moment ago. He's got 1 corner left. He's absolutely nailed this lap so far through the shadow. And he emerges up and over the crest of the hill towards the start line. Michael Schmiedel, no push to pass in qualifying, let's not forget. Where will he go? We await the lap time to come in. It is only good enough for P6 at the moment. 2/10 off the pole. There is still lap times coming in, but Michael Schmiedel 2/10 off of Koke Lopez, who has nailed his lap time. Alejandro Sanchez is P4, Yannick Pletcher currently P5, Enrique Marignon second, Ciro Zambra third, Florian Horses P7, Sebastian Hirsch is 8th. I believe there's 3 drivers, Joshua Hader, Sinan Demirbas and Wojciech Plesny, maybe to complete their lap times here. And half a second currently separating the top 12. Absolutely outstanding at the moment. Smeedle will be pitting. Just Joshua Hader, that I assume is going to finish his lap. He's 25 seconds off that current provisional pole. And I assume he's going to be going for another lap, but obviously not. He didn't get that lap time in on the board, so that will then be your grid order. Koke Lopez, the man who took the last race win a month ago, is your pole sitter from Wojciech Plesny. Great qualifying from the driver from the Czech Republic as well. Enrique Marignon lining up P3. We'll wait for final confirmation on that one. But so far, so good. If you are Koke Lopez, what a month, what a couple of months you've been having at the moment. We will await that final confirmation, though, of that qualifying session. Looked a pretty good lap from Smeedle, and 2/10 is nothing. The top 7 separated by 2/10. The top 14 by 0.6 of a second. That is a great grid. And that is very close going into this race in a few moments' time. You see these beautiful pictures there. That is your confirmed grid. Koke Lopez from Wojciech Plesny, Enrique Marignon from Ciro Zambra, Alejandro Sanchez, championship leader, lines up P5. Yannick Pletcher off the back of a podium, he'll line up P6. Michael Smeedle, 7th place. Florian Horser, P8. Sebastian Hirsch from Angelo Mikel, rounding out the top 10. Marcus Valverde, P11. Nico Forlan, P12. Christoph Holstein from Sinan Demirbas, Mohamed Ramsey and Joshua Hader. Round out your grid order there then. And that at the moment has been absolutely fantastic in terms of seeing what these drivers can do. Some fluids just being taken on board in the Madrid lounge. And I believe that is our pole sitter of Lopez himself, race winner last time out. He'll be looking to add to his tally. And this is the thing, obviously, going from last season to this season, they had the chance to get out of the cockpit and have a bit of a breather, have a bit of a break, and get ready to go in the race a little later on. And now it's straight out to qualifying, straight into the race. Here's Marignon. Either biting his fingernails to trim them down, or he's maybe a bit nervous in the blue simulator there. Either way, we're in for an absolutely fantastic race at this moment in time. This could be an absolute cracker to see. It is Madrid who take pole position at the moment. So they've got 3 wins out of the 4 races. In fact, they've got 6 wins out of the 8 races in both Challenge League and Race League this year. So Madrid having a cracking season at the moment. Really are showing us how it is done this season. So let's see what it will happen as we await then the grid to go live. We're just seeing these pictures from our Kempthal lounge. There is Christoph Holstein in Zurich. Just looking up, might be able to see the monitor there that he's just able to look up at. As he just patiently waits in his nice blue version 2 simulator. One-time race winner last season. Can he maybe get another this time around? Just saw on Christoph's screen there that he was going into the game, meaning that they will be loading up onto the grid. And this then is going to be fantastic to see what will happen throughout the day. The race session is being sorted at the moment to get them on the grid in the correct order and ready for the start. So, while we await for that one, this FIA Grade 1 circuit, relatively new track. It opened in 2008 here, did Algarve. It is 4.6 kilometres long, that is 2.8 in miles. It's a beautiful track, very technical and very easy to make mistakes on 2 or 3 of these corners, which is going to be something that we have to wait and see what will happen. Koke Lopez there in the yellow simulator from Wojciech Plesny in the red. In the blue is Enrique Marignon, alongside Ciro Zambra, the first of these Zurich drivers. Then Alejandro Sanchez, it's the Spanish left-hand side of the grid. Then it's Yannick Pletcher in the blue on the left-hand side of your screen. Michael Schmiedl on the right. Florian Horser on the black there. And if you wonder why I said Spanish left-hand side of the grid, if you flip the camera around, they all start on the left-hand side. There's Munich's Sebastian Hirsch going from P9 in the blue simulator alongside one-time race winner this season, Angelo Mikel. Marcus Valverde just outside the top 10, looking for his first point, ahead of Nico Farland, looking for his as well. Christoph Holstein, P13, with Sinan Demirbas down in 14th place. Then it's the Egyptian driver of Mohamed Ramsey and the solo Hayder brother today, going from the back of the grid in P16. What a chance that these drivers have to have a brilliant race here today. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic one, I'm sure, as we get into the final couple of stages of this race preparation. Drivers obviously haven't been allowed to leave the simulator. They have to stay as they are, and this is where it becomes interesting, because they've got to try and stay focused, stay in that zone, stay in that rhythm, and make sure that they can do everything they need to do to be fully focused and ready to go here then. What a day this is at the moment to see what will happen up and down this grid. This could be an interesting day of drama, because the grid is 0.6 of a second, 0.7 of a second between the top 13. It is close out there. It is very, very close out there. And this will be extremely interesting to see who can do what, who can take the gold here. Either way, the revs start to rise now. And we're about to go green for the first time here in Algarve. It's green and go then for the Challenge 5 of the season here in the Racer League. And it's a good start from our poster to Koke Lopez. Wojciech Polezny now gets alongside in the second phase and manages to go up the inside now. Backs out of it into turn one. A bit of track limits being taken there. They're going to have to be careful as push to pass being used early on in the lap by some of the front runners. And Alejandro Sanchez and Ciro Zambra are having a good little squabble for 4th and 5th. And Christoph Holstein's already got past Nico Farland. Already more push to pass being used further down the order. You see 3 wide in front. And 3 into 1 doesn't work. Florian Horser takes a great wallop on the left-hand side of his car. That looks like it was from Sebastian Hirsch, who managed to tap the side of his car there. But just looking at the moment, decent start from everybody. They've all got away cleanly. A lot of rubbing and bumping wheel to wheel, as that looked like Yannick Pletcher further forward was side by side with Schmiedl. And yes, he was. He's managed to hang on in there over Schmiedl. Used a couple of usages of push to pass passes Yannick Pletcher. He managed to save some last time out, if you remember, to defend from Schmiedl at the end. Well, this time he's the one who's going early. And it's Lopez from Plesny, from Marignon, from Sanchez. Early doors leading the way, with that of Ciro Zambra dropping down to 7th place in this one. So Yannick Pletcher and Schmiedl have worked their way forward. There is JP, Yannick Pletcher, with Schmiedl right on the back of him. Both using push to pass. Yannick goes defensive. Schmiedl's going to pull to the outside line. Yannick leaves him just a car's width as he tries to squeeze him as he opens the entry to turn 1. Side by side through 1. Brilliant action through 2. Into turn 3 now. Pletcher has that inside line. Schmiedl locks up a little bit. Can he keep the front nose there for turn 4? No, he cannot. Has to back out of that one. And Yannick Pletcher lives to fight another day. This is not helping Schmiedl's fight, though, because here comes Zambra down in towards the hairpin. Zambra and Schmiedl locking up the wheels. You see the puff of tyre smoke kicking up everywhere from every driver, and Zambra somehow doesn't plough into the back of Michael Schmiedl here. They all keep pointing in the right direction. And Ciro Zambra then will carry on working hard. Koke Lopez out front from Plesny, from Sanchez, from Marignon. This is the fight for 5th, 6th and 7th. And Ciro Zambra just maybe trying to have a look early doors to get in front of Michael Schmiedl. He's 3rd in the championship. He wants to take the championship fight to Sanchez as well. So he's going to be right up for this. And this is a replay of what happened. Look, Michael Schmiedl getting squeezed by Pletcher. Perfectly fine, that. A car's width left. Great respect from the pair of them. Here is Alejandro Sanchez then. Up and over the brow, down towards turn 1. They come. Koke Lopez, fastest lap of the race. Sanchez on the back now of Enrique Marignon, his fellow Spaniard. Could not get the move done there. So Sanchez will live to fight another day as Joshua Hayder gets ahead of Christoph Holstein then down the order. Sanchez now trying to work even harder That's a bit of a lock-up from Coque Lopez through the hairpin. He's just going to have to be careful about scrubbing them tyres. He will not want to have them fade towards the end of the race. Great fight already, the grid pretty close. Nobody's really pulling away and creating a gap. There's a bit of a gap formed by Zambra to Smeedle now, I say it. So Zambra's made a mistake somewhere possibly, and he's just dropped back a little bit. Coque Lopez just controlling this race as he did at Silverstone. It was in them latter stages where he started to pull away, uses a push to pass. Here is Sebastian Hirsch in his own livery then. It's Coque Lopez, another new fastest lap off the race. Hirsch down into turn one, just lost a bit of time to Ciro Zambra throughout that final corner as Zambra's gained back onto the rear of Michael Smeedle. Yannick Pletcher's brought in Marignon here, just noting that Sanchez has got past Marignon as Mohamed Ramsey overtakes Nico Farland for 14th and 15th place. This is looking over the shoulder of, I believe, Ciro Zambra, chasing down Smeedle and Pletcher. As Coque Lopez is now over a second ahead of Wojciech Paleśny, so he's had a good run. Towards Portimão comes Zambra now, look. You see his delta times, he's found a bit of time there, so that may be in a place where he's struggling previously. He went up on his delta. It's all about the consistency around a track like this. It's very easy to make a mistake and just lose so much time. As round they come, down the hill they drop now. Over the line, Coque Lopez 1.6 ahead of Wojciech Paleśny, so Lopez has just pumped in a good bit of pace here. And he's just pulled away from Wojciech Paleśny. And Lopez, tell you what, this could be an interesting charge in this championship this season. Holstein gets past Farland. They're on board with Florian Haase down in P10, that final point scoring position at the moment. Just get the feeling that in this race something's going to happen a little later on. Just can't imagine that it's going to stay like this for the rest of the race. Sanchez still pretty close to the back of Paleśny. Smeedle within half a second of Pletcher. Pletcher's dropped off the back of Marignon. Here we go then, rounding penultimate corner. This is on board with Smeedle. Sanchez uses push past Pletcher. Pletcher's only got 2 usages left, and we're only on lap 5 of 23, about to start lap 6. So Pletcher has gone early here. It's a bold tactic. Yannick Pletcher, fastest lap of the race. It's a bold tactic from the young man to maybe go so early on that push to pass. Smeedle couldn't take advantage of that one, though. Back down into the hairpin, bottom end of the circuit. Still cars locking up the wheels. Paleśny 1.7 off the back of Lopez now, and he's coming under increasingly more pressure from Alejandro Sanchez. Here's board with him. Downhill they come. Through the gears, now into the penultimate corner. Long corner, patient on that throttle. Oh, just a little wiggle there, just as he put the foot down from Alejandro. Now through that final corner, he was flat out through the whole thing. Marignon uses push to pass to get onto the back of his fellow Spaniard, down the back, straight down the start straight. They come. Then here is Alejandro Sanchez, who's now going to have to defend from Enrique Marignon, who takes the fastest lap of the race, but stays ahead of Sanchez, who nearly gets caught out by Plesny on the brakes. Now Marignon has a run up the inside in towards turn 3. Marignon and Sanchez side by side together, and this could be crucial in terms of that championship. And Marignon loses out there, or backs out, should I say, through turn 4. Was never going to make it stick around the outside. Has another look here, and I don't believe Sanchez's livery is loading properly when we go to certain camera angles. On board and from other cars, it seems okay, but when we're on him, it seems to be a bit greyed out. So apologies for that one there. But Sanchez at the moment doing what he, doing what he does best. He's under a spot of bother from Marignon. We normally see him being the aggressor. Really outbraked himself going into turn 1. It was a very, very strange sort of bit of braking from him into turn 1. He wasn't close enough to make the move. There's Ciro Zambra trying to regain time over Michael Smeedle. Just see the delta on the dashboard there of Ciro Zambra's car as they come through the final corner up and over the brow of the hill to start yet another lap here. Lap 8 of 23. Zambra at the moment just losing touch ever so slightly on the others out front at the moment. Yannick Pleccio, fair play to him, he's doing a great job once again to hold off that of Michael Smeedle. Here's Marignon though, still sticking to the back of Alejandro Sanchez. Going good guns at the moment. Nick Pletcher's not lost too much touch from the front, from the rear of them as well, so he's doing pretty good. Towards the back part of the circuit now. It's all kind of falling the way for Coque Lopez is what it did at Silverstone a month ago, where everybody behind having a bit of a squabble, bit of a fight here and there. And that's allowing him just to open that door, stretch his legs, not use that push to pass. You know, when he wants to, he's being able to, when he has to, he's being able to use it when he wants to. That's the key thing. Look, he's still got 5 usages, yes. Left Marignon to the outside of turn 1 of Alejandro Sanchez. Oh! Sanchez clatters the curbs and bounces over it, round into the path of Marignon, takes himself and Marignon out. What a mistake from the championship leader. Yannick Pletcher now onto the podium with Michael Smeedle jumping ahead of his championship rival. And Alejandro Sanchez there, we barely see a mistake from him. And that was a rare one. Up and over the curb he went. And that is a huge moment in this championship fight. He's out of the points at the moment. Alejandro Sanchez will be kicking himself. And you can just see what it's done. Them tyres so overheated at the moment. He's now got to be very careful to get them tyre temps down, get them back into a comfortable window. You just see the car. It wants to understeer. The rear end wants to come around on him. Pushing too hard on overheated tyres after that spin. And also, was there an unsafe rejoin that race control are going to have to look at there, because he looked like he tried to rejoin as quick as possible. It is going to be an interesting one to see what will come of that. But for sure, we're not used to seeing that from our championship leader. And that then puts Marignon down to 6th as Ciro Zambra's just got past him. Sanchez fighting with Demirbaş. Marignon's got to do all that hard work again. And it all helps Wojciech Plesny, who can now just get on the back of Coque Lopez and sort of, you know, try and close that gap down, because he's not really got the pressure of Yannick Pletcher behind. Alejandro Sanchez now sending one at the hairpin and manages to make that move stick. He is now driving like a man possessed to get back into these points. Next one he's got to get is that of Marcus Valverde. He'll be annoyed with himself. He'll be very, very frustrated with himself there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the rest of this race then. Coque Lopez has had his lead cut short a little bit. Marignon still on the back of Zambra. This plays into the hands of Smeedle and of Ciro Zambra here. It could not help them anymore. Still push to pass usages left. Yannick still kept 2 on lap 11 of 23. Fernando Merbas now on the back of Sanchez still. This could be good for Sinan. Pretty much follow the leader. Just try and follow that of Alejandro Sanchez all the way to the checkered flag. That could be the best thing for him to do in terms of being able to keep going at the moment and maybe make up a few places. This is going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on throughout the rest of today. At the moment, looking back from Yannick Pletcher then. You see Michael Smeedle, who will be licking his lips at the opportunity of Sanchez not scoring a point and the fact that he'll be on for a good haul. There is Yannick Pletcher, live with our camera crew in Zurich. It's a nice tight line there. Marignon uses push to pass over Ciro Zambra. Keep our eyes on the timing screen further back down the order. Yeah, Pletcher at the moment, you know, he's putting daylight between himself and Smeedle. He's being able to gap the defending champion. So Yannick really finding a groove at the moment. And he's really starting to get into a rhythm here. And this is great to see. The current Challenger League champion, obviously promoted up into the Racer League. And this is brilliant to see. As Farland and Hayder have got past Holstein down the bottom of the order. Here we go then. Enrique Marignon. What must he be thinking after that incident with Alejandro Sanchez? I'd love to see if we could bring a replay up of this one, because that would be an interesting one to take a look at again, especially if we can have an on-board view. That'd be some watching, I reckon, there. Michael Smeedle and Yannick Pletcher. Yannick just looks like he's starting to maybe gain on Pelesny based off the timing screens. As here goes Marignon now, down the start straight. 11 laps to go. Here comes Enrique Marignon. That slipstream will be in full effect. Just getting a little bit closer. Not close enough at the moment. Hard on the brakes. Great first couple of corners from Marignon there. He really closed that gap up a couple of tenths. And there you can see, look, Pelesny, Pletcher, Smeedle. And every place that Zambra and Smeedle get at the moment will take points off of Sanchez in this championship. Only 3 rounds to go after this. You know, this could be very crucial. A non-points finish for Sanchez could be a disastrous day for him. Koke Lopez once again, though, managing his race to perfection. Yannick Pletcher's within a couple of tenths now, that says. On Wojciech Pelesny is. He's right on the back of him. You see there from the helicopter shot. You can see Marignon with Zambra. Zambra's gained a little bit on Smeedle. Pelesny now uses a push to pass. That'll open the gap up, because Yannick's not going to want to waste his last 2. He's going to be smart about them. The problem is Pelesny can use what he's got available till he gets down. That's 3 usages each. Pletcher seems to have great pace here today. So Marignon at the moment still hunting down the back of Ciro. I believe that these two are gaining on Smeedle as well. I don't think Smeedle's got that much pace here today. I don't think he's pretty comfortable here. We've not seen him at his best. You know, and he's not used all his push to pass early. Maybe we're going to see Smeedle come back through the ranks when he uses the push to pass. This is going to be interesting. Here comes Yannick Pledger then. Penultimate corner of the track. There he is, the driver from Zurich. Rounds the final corner, drops down the hill. Smeedel and Zambra use a usage of push to pass. So Smeedel is closing. Remember, it's 8 seconds. You get on the push to pass. It'll give you a bit more extra speed. You only get 8 usages of it. Yannick goes defensive very early. I don't think Yannick needs to do that just yet. I don't think Smeedel's close enough. And Smeedel will know as well. This is what Yannick's got to think of. Smeedel will know that Sanchez isn't scoring. So for his championship, he's taking a lot of points off of Alejandro. So Yannick's just got to play this clever. He doesn't need to go overly defensive over Michael Smeedel. Definitely gaining on Wojciech Plezny. Koke Lopez hasn't checked out, but the laps are dwindling away. And there is a brilliant side-by-side camera shot of Yannick and Smeedel. And look at Yannick, actually. Look at him. He was on the back of Plezny there. Plezny uses push to pass, as does Smeedel. Now Smeedel's a little closer. Not close enough. He has a look, shows his nose. Lets Yannick know I'm here. But now, Yannick, who used one as well, I've just noticed, is Alejandro Sanchez fastest lap of the race and now moves inside the top 10. So now Yannick Pledger, one left. He's gone defensive again early. I don't think Yannick needs to be doing that. I think Yannick's got the pace to focus on catching Plezny in front than Smeedel. This is very crucial in this race. Lap 16 of 23. The big story of this race was Alejandro Sanchez and Enrique Marignon coming together. Sanchez has only just got back into the points, down in P10, fastest lap of the race as well. Damage limitations for him today. Marignon cannot get past Ciro Zambra at the moment. Smeedel goes again on the push to pass. Yannick Pledger now uses one, so Yannick Pledger is done for push to pass. I don't think he needed to use that. Now Plezny uses one. Did Plezny use it at just the right time? Yannick Pledger has a look up the inside, but Plezny, having that extra speed, just manages to stay ahead of Yannick Pledger there. Yannick now will be defenceless against that of Michael Smeedel next time around. And again, goes on the defensive out of turn 4. What a race from these three. What a race from Koke Lopez. Just got his head down and gone here. It's been absolutely fantastic. And this is the battle for the podium and for second place. Wojciech Plezny in the black car, Yannick Pledger in the blue car in the middle, and then Michael Smeedel in the black and white car just behind. This is looking just from behind Yannick Pledger, live camera shots in our Zurich lounge. The problem for Pledger is he's got no push to pass. Plezny's got 3. Smeedel has 1. And look at that, Yannick Pledger. He's just gone too defensive too early, and it's too easy for Michael Smeedel, who gets through. They've both used push to pass now. Enrique Marignon's looking around the outside there of Ciro Zambra. Now he has the inside line for turn 4, and that is the move. Done, just about, not yet. Zambra's coming back at him. And Zambra will have to go the long way around the outside. Great bit of racing from these two. And look at this, still side by side. Banging wheels, banging side pods. Coming up through 6 into 7. Still together. Marignon round the outside. Zambra sticks the nose, has a look. Marignon gets a tap from Ciro Zambra. Manages to hang on to it. They're still at it. Still banging wheels. And Marignon comes out on top. Ciro Zambra, I think, had to give that one up. And what a fight here for Marignon and Ciro Zambra. And now for Ciro, he's got that of Sebastian Hirsch on the back of him. What can Yannick Pletcher do about Michael Schmiedl and then Wojciech Polezny? Marignon uses push to pass to try and get onto the back of Yannick Pletcher. Here is Schmiedl, there is Polezny, and Schmiedl back up through on the inside line. Michael Schmiedl second place, Alejandro Sanchez down in 10th. That is huge points in this championship. Now Polezny uses a push to pass to defend that of Alejandro Sanchez, who squeezes up the inside. They make contact, but Pletcher's through on that of Wojciech Polezny. So Pletcher moves on to a podium spot at the moment. I'm sure Race Control are going to be looking at that one. And that was absolutely huge there from Yannick Pletcher. Wojciech Polezny will not be happy with that, and he's going to want to try and fight back here. He's not got the pace, Yannick Pletcher. Look, Pletcher is starting to pull away. If he can hunt down after Schmiedl, a little wiggle under the braking there for Yannick Pletcher. Polezny's still got some push to pass left to use. But what an interesting bit of racing we've got coming up. We've still got the F2 cars to make their debut here at Racing Unleashed. Sebastian Hirsch now looking to use push to pass over Ciro Zambra. Ciro uses his final one. So Sebastian Hirsch with 2 usages left. Ciro has none to his name. But Ciro coming back on Marignon to the outside. Marignon's already been around at turn 1 before. Now he bounces over the curb, not as aggressively as Sanchez. Just rubbed doors a little bit. That is how Schmiedl got past Polezny. What a fight this is at the moment. Absolutely fantastic. Hirsch has a look on Zambra. Zambra just parks the car. Inch perfect there. Really was great to see. Ciro Zambra now on the defensive once again. He's looked like a man who struggled for pace in this race today. Just hasn't been at his best. And Hirsch will want some more points in the bag, that is for sure. We're on lap 20 of 23 and coming towards the end of that. As Holstein passes Farland for 14th and 15th place. Coque Lopez now just starting to use that push to pass. He probably forgot he had still available to him. And that look just opens the gap up to 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Now here comes Hirsch, left, right, left. And he's now in front of Ciro Zambra before the entrance to turn 1. And Ciro down to 7th place. It's points over Sanchez, but he's losing out to Schmiedl, coming back up the inside line at turn 3. That's going to cost him through 4, and it's cost him a lot of momentum there, and that's very easy work for Sebastian Hirsch to stay out front. With a couple of laps left. Tell you what, Alejandro Sanchez not a million miles off the back of Florian Horser, and he's only 1.5 behind Angelo Michel. Could Sanchez just gain another point or 2 in this race? That's going to be the biggest question. Drone footage up and over the top of the circuit, watching Ciro Zambra come through. Polezny uses his final usage of push to pass. He's got to defend from Marignon here. Marignon's got pretty close to him. Marignon's still got 1 usage left, so Enrique could be looking at a top 4. And this is Angelo Michel going side by side with Ciro Zambra down in toward turn 1 and has to back out of that. Still got 1 usage of push to pass left, so we still have that opportunity to try and pass Ciro Zambra. Penultimate lap of the race. And what a race it has been so far. Oh, really closing up under braking there was Michel, just getting onto the back of Zambra there, very close to clipping the rear. Just Lopez, Smeedle, Pletcher, Plezny, Marignon, your top 5. Hirsch, Zambra, Mikel, Haas, Sanchez, your top 10. The drivers in the points. Here is Coque Lopez. 1 usage left. He comes round the final corner and is about to start the final lap of this race. Great stuff from him in this one. And as he starts the final lap of the race now, he's just been on form today as Coque Lopez. Here's Angelo Mikel. He's got past Zambra. He's got ahead of Ciro Zambra, so he's used that last push to pass usage to his advantage, as Zambra's down to 8th. Just hasn't had the pace today as Ciro. And he's down in 8th place. He'll be gutted with today's performance. But Angelo Mikel gains another one. Marignon now still having a look at the back of Wojciech Plezny. This is the final lap. She's not got a lot of time to get past him here for a P4. And if Yannick Pletcher got a penalty for getting past Plezny, what could be a podium. But Coque Lopez, I tell you what, winner out at Silverstone. That was on a reverse grid. Not this time. He's done it all the hard way. Qualifying on pole, led from the start. Coque Lopez wins here at Algarve. And for Challenge 5, it goes the way of Madrid again. And it goes the way of Coque Lopez. That is Madrid's 4th win of the season and his 2nd. Michael Smeedle, 2nd place from Yannick Pletcher. Enrique Marignon pipped that of Wojciech Plezny at the very end for 4th and 5th place. And then it is Sebastian Hirsch, Angelo Mikel, Ciro Zambra have all crossed the line, and high five for Yannick Pletcher. 2 podiums for the Swiss driver. Absolutely fantastic scenes. There's his mum there, congratulating, and his father. I'm sure his granddad will be there as well, but there is Smeedle, who you can't tell just got a 2nd place by the looks of him there. But he did. Coque Lopez, a happy man. There's his grandfather, who is at every race meet. Never misses a race for Yannick Pletcher. And his grandfather, his biggest supporter, you have to say. And it is great to see Yannick Pletcher on the podium once again. Did it the hard way, though. Did it the hard way. Had to fight really hard with that of Wojciech Plezny. After Michael Smeedle got past him, there is Smeedle, who you can never tell the emotions of Smeedle, whether he's happy or not. But Coque Lopez, you can tell he looks a happy man. And Madrid, a happy lounge. He's just hurt his neck there in high-fiving and a little stroke on the head, and that's hurt his neck a little bit. Coque Lopez very happy once again. 2-time race winner this season. And that'll be absolutely huge. But it won't be all joy in Madrid, because I'm sure Marignon and Sanchez are going to want to have a little conversation. I don't think Sanchez has time, though, because I do believe, or I was told in a meeting this morning, he has got to shoot straight off. There he goes. He's ran right out the studio. He's got to go back home. He's got a Porsche Carrera Esports race coming up on iRacing later on. So he's got to dash straight home and get ready for that. I've never seen a man move so quick. Either he's running from Marignon or he's running to get to his race. But Yannick Pletcher, they're very, very happy man. Talking with Melvin, who you'll see coming up in the Challenger League race in a few moments' time. Maybe discussing that of Wojciech Plezny. And what happened there. There's our sporting director Fabio giving a high five as well in the yellow jumper there. But interesting to see. I think that is possibly a conversation about what happened. He'll be going over to the interview room so we can have a chat with him. He's just high-fiving everybody that comes through at the moment. And Fabio, you can see they're just making sure he's set up, ready to go. But Yannick Pletcher, P3 in this one so far. I don't know if he's worried or not, but we can go straight to the interview of, I believe, Michael Smeedle we can speak to first. No, it's Yannick Pletcher we can speak to first. Yannick, P3 today on the road. You look like you had tremendous pace out there, but it wasn't easy to get that podium.
Yeah, definitely. I've used all my push-to-passes in the early stages, so it was really difficult for me to really hold up Michael Smeedle and overtake Wojtek without the push-to-pass. I needed to go fully all in on that move there.
But it was great pace from you without the push to pass, really, wasn't it? To stay with them two who had a couple of usages left after you. That's back-to-back podiums now after Silverstone. You're really starting to find your feet in this Racer League and starting to find your feet with the top drivers.
Yes, I really work hard to close that gap, but it's not that easy because like Alejandro and Michael Smeedle are doing that a full-time job, and I need to go to an apprenticeship. I have to do physical work. It's such a full schedule, and for me it's really difficult to close that gap. But it's always there are small steps coming to that goal to really close that gap.
Indeed, there are. Just talk us through the overtake on Polesny, because from our point of view, it looked like you just bumped a little bit with each other. Just talk us about, give us your view of it.
Yeah, I knew he would have let me one car width in between, so I thought when he needs to go to the right, you know, and I thought like at that moment when he goes to the right to defend the outside, I was fully committing to the inside, and yeah, there was a little touch, but I think it was just really at the completely edge of the whole. Yeah, the overtake was completely on the edge.
Well, Yannick Pletcher, P3 once again. Congratulations on the podium. Enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
A very, very happy Yannick Pletcher there. We can head over to Munich now to speak with Michael Smeedle, who is P2 today. Michael, a day in which Alejandro Sanchez lost a lot of points to yourself. You've got to be pleased with that.
Well, I don't wish anyone anything like bad to happen. Obviously, on my side, the quali was completely rubbish. So that was the main issue. And after that, it was an eventful race. I had quite nice overtake maneuvers coming down to turn one, also on a different part of the circuits as well. So yeah, I enjoyed a bit of a show. Obviously, I would like to win, but yeah, consistency is the key, and yeah, I keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling, but like you said, the overtakes was brilliant that you managed to pull off today in this race on what is a very tricky circuit.
Yeah, the main issue was it felt quite off in terms of balance. Also on the, let's say, online server, and later on in the race, quali and the race, yeah, the car felt all over the place. I mean, many drivers had an issue with that. I also had a problem with the latency, so all the cars for me jumped in the second sector, I think. And on my screen, I didn't even touch Yannick, and he went a little bit like, let's say, wide. So I decided to actually not overtake him because I wasn't even sure what was happening. So it was a bit messy in terms of lags in the first lap, so that's why I kept it safe. And after that, I started pushing. Obviously, I had battles mainly with Yannick all the way through. And yeah, if he keeps it like that, he will be a champion one day for sure in the Racer League.
Indeed. Well, Michael, congratulations today. P2 on the road. We'll see you out there next time.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
And we could speak with our race winner now, Koke Lopez, who is a back-to-back race winner. Koke, pretty easy, but this time you had to do it in qualifying to get it on the front row of the grid.
Well, I don't know if I should call it easy, because just keeping a constant and a regular pace in this circuit is just a challenging compared to any other track. And yeah, it feels definitely much better than Silverstone because this time I was starting on pole because of my own achievement, which was the pole position. This was my probably weakness in the 2 previous qualies that we had. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to be able to do the pole and keep up the pace to be able to win also the race.
It's kind of now putting you in a position where you're moving up that championship order, looking at the top 3 a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks like that, but actually I'm a bit, not gonna say scared, but I didn't have a proper fight wheel to wheel yet, so I think next race I will have to practice a lot in this condition where you have to try to overtake, because I will be starting, if I'm not wrong, P8. So yeah, both of the races I won, I didn't really have to fight at all. The previous races I was just struggling and probably in terms of pace not fast, so was in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, let's see what the next race brings us.
Well, Koke, I'd love to ask you more, but we've got to get into the Challenger League qualifying. Congratulations on the race win, and we'll see you out there next time.
Thanks, see you next time.
Koke Lopez, race winner there. What a job from the young man. Back-to-back race wins. 4 out of 5 race wins in the Race League for Madrid. But we are 20 seconds away from being back onto the circuit, this time for the Challenger League qualifying. Remember, debutant of Andrin Christoffel is out there, as well as the sim racing couple. Go and check them out on Instagram. Astrid Vollenweider and her partner, Sasha Rumpel, is out there on the circuit against each other. No teams here at Racing Unleashed. This is how the championship looks then. Salva Taylor's P1 from Guzman Migueles. Then it's Adrian Gomez from Timothy Spearson. Nikolai Rogivu rounds out the top 5. He's a race winner this season. Mario Stanich from David Verthwich. Unai Morotto, Tim Portsmatter and Simon Demori round out the top 10. Borges Orzo from Melvin Luppy, P12. Tyler Klaus, P13th. Jamie Ego, 14th. Andreas Koch, the man who's got a solo point, rounds out the top 15 before Roberto Miguez, Walter Troniger, Michael Kaibach, Jason Bleissig, Twankai Bui down in 20th place, and a few other drivers as well yet to score a point this season. There they are: Harry Scanderi, Ivan Machado, Maximilian Nares, Michael Waversick and Matteo Strobach down the order there then. And then obviously we're going to add 3 extra names to this Challenger League grid, the grid in which you have to qualify to be on. So you have to do that preliminary qualifying round to make sure you line up on that grid to be in with a chance of being on it. But we are getting ready for the next qualifying session, which is starting now. This could be an interesting one to keep our eyes on throughout this session here, because it brings us our brand new Formula 2 car in this race at the moment. And I think this could be a fantastic opportunity for these drivers to learn this new F1 car. And from what I'm told, it sounds absolutely beautiful. We need to keep our eyes on this, what is happening out there at the moment. But a great race so far from everybody, as Unai Morotto now takes the track. Look how small it looks out there on the circuit compared to Formula 1 cars. Here we go then, Unai Morotto. Hopefully we can get it on board. Oh, listen to that. Lovely as it whistles down the straight here at Portimão. Let's try and see if we can get an onboard shot of Unai Morotto to hear it fully. Beautifully sounding. As it pops through the gears. We also have different liveries for today in the F2 race. And the red livery there for that for Unai Morotto is marking Madrid. The way you can differentiate then the simulator they are in is by the halo. The halo will match the colour of the simulator. There you see Unai Morotto's in the yellow halo. The blue is for the Zurich lounge. You will notice the blue cars. And then the yellow is for the Munich lounges. Also, just on the tip of the nose cone, I believe, is the words MAD, ZAZRH and MUC for Munich, Madrid. And Zurich Kazunai Moroto now comes towards the line to start his first flying lap of this session. On what lap time will he put in? Who will be the top man in this race? Let's see, or top lady as well, sorry, in this race. Let's see what will happen to Kazunai Moroto, one of our youngest competitors to go. What will he be able to do in this one? He comes through down the back straight in towards the hairpin at the bottom end of the circuit then for the first flying lap. 20 names on the board for this 23-lap race. It might actually be a bit shorter with these cars being a little slower. The force feedback as well on these wheels is a lot tougher than the Formula One car. So this is going to be interesting to see which driver can manage this the best. They come downhill to Kazunai Moroto, back up towards the left-hander. So pretty neat and tidy this lap this does from Unai. He really has looked like he's had a fantastic lap. He stays towards the pit wall to cross the line and set his lap time. Adrian Gomez goes to the top. Here comes Moroto. You've got to really wait for the timing screen to come up. He's gone provisional pole at the moment. 2/10 quicker. He now gets beaten to it by Mario Stanic by 1/10.5. David Verthrich up in P5. Salva Taylor's just missing out on the pole. Melvin up to P4. Harry Scanderi moving up to P8 there then. Tiziano Kuznini, I don't believe, set a full lap time. Astrid Vollenweider, I don't think, has set a full lap time. And Sasha Rumpel as well, I don't think, has set a full lap time. As the timing screen ends, so that will be as they stand. Mario Stanic, the man from Zurich, on provisional pole at this moment in time. We will get the full classification brought up on screen to confirm if that is the case. And so far, so good for these drivers here today in what will be a 30-minute race coming up very, very shortly. And the full classification of qualifying is as follows. Mario Stanic from Salva Taylor's with Unai Moroto top 3. Melvin Luppi in P4. David Verthrich P5 from Guzman Migles. Borges Orzo 7th place. Harry Scanderi P8. P9 for Nikolai Rogivu. Rounding out the top 10 is Ivan Marino. Tyler Klaus P11. Adrian Gomez 12th. Timothy Spearson P13. Andrin Christoffel is P14. Debutant today, Roberto Miguez, P15. Tim Portsmatter, P16, and that rounds out a second to Walter Troninger, should I say, in P17. Tiziano Kuznini, 21 seconds off the pace. I don't think that's a full respective lap time. Neither is it from Astrid Vollenweider and Sasha Rumpel there, bringing out 20th place. Apologies, we're just being told in our ear that I believe it was Harris Scanderi, just waiting for my broadcaster to confirm it is. Harris Scanderi has got a 10-place grid penalty due to a penalty carried over from Silverstone a month ago. So Harris Scanderi then will drop to 18th place on the grid, promoting everybody up one spot. That is because of an incident from the last race at Silverstone there. So Harris Scanderi, a 10-place grid penalty then. So the driver from Kosovo will drop down the order into round about 18th place, and that could hurt him. That could massively hurt him here in this one. But let's wait and see what will happen as we carry on forward into this next session. We're going to take a look at a short clip, though, of this Formula 2 car in all its glory. I was hoping to have it for the start of the season, but instead we've got it for week 5. And they look absolutely beautiful. Designed especially for us for this 2024-25 championship. They look gorgeous. They sound incredible. And they're going to provide us with a lot of drama, you would imagine, as we go through the rest of the season in these cars. So Salvatier's currently on 2 wins here, with Nikolai Rogoviu and Guzman Migles having 1 win apiece. Madrid having 3 wins over Zurich's 1 is the key thing to note here and to keep our eyes on in this one. So that is the main sort of talking points on who has won the race. Salvatier's, I don't think we have seen the championship standings. Salvatier's obviously is the championship leader and has got a good gap, but you know, will that be turned on its head in this final half of the season with this newer car? That is going to be the biggest question here then, as to who and what can get the best and can capitalise out at this fantastic Algarve circuit in the F2 car for the first time. As you see the drivers in our Zurich lounge getting ready to go in this race. We are awaiting for the service start at this moment in time. And if you are in Munich, Madrid or in the Zurich airport area, make sure you do pop into one of our fantastic racing lounges and have a go in one of our fantastic simulators that we have on store. As well as head over to our social media platforms, X, Instagram, TikTok, to keep up to date with all that is Racing Unleashed. So the session is about to start. Just had a couple of minute delay there while we get the grid order ready to go. But it looks like now we are about there and about ready to go in this race. Here in Portimão, where the sun looks like it's setting on a fantastic day of on-track action. First time to see these cars. A first chance for these drivers to race them in anger. All the testing goes out the window. It's now the first time to drive these cars in anger. There is Mario Stanic lining up on the front row of the grid with that of Salvatier's in P2. There's Unai Morotto going from 3rd place, with Melvin in P4 in our Zurich lounge. David Verthrich, P5 for him. Good qualifying. He'll be alongside Guzman Migles of Madrid then, 1-time race winner. Borja Zorzo is P7. With Nikolai Rogoviu, another 1-time race winner, in P8 at the moment. Here is Ivan Marino, P9. Tyler Klaus, P10. Adrian Gomez, 11th place. Watch for him in this race. Timothy Spearson, P12. Watch for Adrian Gomez. He could be a brilliant drive from there. Now, Andrin Christoffel, P13. Roberto Miguez, P14. Tim Portsmouth way down the grid for him. He'd have rather been up the sharp end. So watch out for him. Our oldest competitor, Walter Troninger, P16. Great guy. Tiziano Kuznini, P17 for him. Harry Scanderi, P18. And Astrid Vollenweider going from 19th place, and her partner Sasha Rumpel going from P20. The sim racing couple rounding out the back of the grid. So we await the red lights and the start of the race. The drivers will be focusing on them lights going out, preparing for their race to start, thinking about what will happen down into turn 1. And this will be the final time of Portimão for this season that the lights appear on the screen. And we about to get ready here. The Formula 2 car making its first start of the championship. And it's green and go, and it's a great start from the second row. Who is that who's got away really well? I believe Unai Morotto and Salva Taylor split the leader. Morotto, I think, has lost back out. Melvin's come up into second place. What a start he's had from the third row. The grid, spinners, contact, everybody involved down the bottom half the field. I say everybody, there's more dramas at turn 3. More drivers around, and Salva Taylor's, we said, could it turn on its head? It doesn't turn on its head. He stays out front. He's continuing to do what he's done best all season. David Verthrich and Guzman Migles attacking into the hairpin down at turn 5 already. Still side by side. And a dramatic start in this race as David Verthrich moves up to second place ahead of Guzman Migles. Mario Stanic, who started on pole, did not get off the line well at all. He's currently P4. Ivan Marino is P5 at the moment. Roberto Miguez ahead of Tiziano Kuznini for 10th place. Here's Timothy Spearson then. Down in P8 at the moment. Astrid Vollenweider from 19th on the grid gained 4 places. They're up to 15th place. So a great start from Astrid. But Mario Stanic now trying to recover from that awful start he had. And drama in the Challenger League at turns 1, 2 and 3. This is a replay of what happened. It was bound to kick off. We didn't realise it was going to kick off that quick. They do have the same push-to-pass usages. This is David Verthrich. Now dropping back to Adrian Gomez. There's a spin in front of Gomez. He gets collected with the driver off track. Happening on screen though at the minute. Timothy Spearson up the inside, drifts through turn 1, hangs on to it for now. But he's having Harry Scanderi have a look back up the inside at turn 3. He's gone deep himself. Will he be able to keep hold of that inside line for 4? Yes, he will. And Timothy Spearson back up another place. A lot of track limit shoes here though. These drivers got to learn this car. Driving it aggressively. Tim Portsmatter, he's climbed the order. Looks to make another move up the inside. Down at the hairpin, and is he going to get past Harry Scanderi? Now having that inside line for turn 6, just behind this, Timothy Spearson looks side by side together. Now Tim Portsmatter hangs it around the outside, and now has the move done, and Scanderi will have to watch Tim Portsmatter come through. But there is dramas all over the place at the minute, and a great opening couple of laps. It's only a 20-lap race, is this one. A great start to it here at Portimão. What dramas we have. Race control may be busy with this result today. Harry Scanderi now on the back foot over Roberto Miguez. The F2 cars both run, all run the same as the F1 cars in terms of 8-lap usages of push to pass. And they get it for 8 seconds as well, so exactly the same as the F1 car. But Salva Taylor's doing what he does best out front at the moment. Sets the fastest lap of the race, and now Mario Stanic getting past Guzman Migles up the inside. Lovely move from Mario, did not get off the line well, and now he's got to try and recover from that in this race. Guzman tried to come back at him there, but couldn't make his mind up which way he wanted to do. So now we have to keep our eyes on the push-to-pass usages here. This is Harry Scanderi down in P8. He's got Tim Portsmatter on the back of him. A couple of cars side by side down the order. Just a moment ago, Borges Oslo's just got past Astrid Vollenweider. And Tiziano Kuznini's got ahead of Tyler Klaus. Klaus comes back at him, though. This is Tim Portsmatter. Coming down towards the Craig Jones corner before coming back up to Portimão. There is Unai Morotto. Running in P6, just behind Ivan Marino then. All changing down the bottom end of the order. Here's a replay of Harris Scanderi getting past Guzman Migles into turn 1. Was a lovely, this is Scanderi passing Portsmatter into turn 1. Morotto now. Not using push to pass, but he's well in that slipstream of Marino. Pulls to the inside line. Unai Morotto. Easy as you like. Comfortable overtake that as Salva Taylor sets the fastest lap of the race. And a lovely move that from Unai. And good respect from Ivan as well. Down towards the hairpin corner at the bottom of the hill. Good stuff this at the moment. These F2 cars have provided some great drama already in the first 4 laps and have really made it very enjoyable. I imagine having these all season, it would have been absolute drama, I reckon, from start to finish in this championship. Just listening. Okay, Walter Troning, we've just been told, apologies, is out of this race. So he is out and will not be taking further part in this one then. Ivan Marino currently in P6 at the moment. Salvatalen sets another fastest lap of the race. David Verthridge 1.8 off the back of him. A bit of a gap back to Mario Stanic. Just as Ivan Marino, though, we're watching P6. He got overtaken by Ino Morotto a couple of laps ago. He's now got Timothy Spearson hunting him down. They're hunting him down. Pulls out, has a look, sends one up the inside. And Ivan should try and come back underneath. He didn't. Oh, Timothy Spearson there missed his brakes and got away with that one. I'd have thought that Ivan Marino would have been able to just tuck back underneath and get the position back, but he couldn't. So Timothy Spearson hangs on and lives to fight another day. Now Stanic gaining on David Verthridge for P2. A couple of battles happening elsewhere on the grid as well. Andrin Christoffel on debut. Gets ahead of Astrid Vollenweider for 16th and 17th. This is a look back at the replay then. Spearson down deep into the hairpin, and Ivan just couldn't get that turned back underneath. Look how far. You're not going to get to see it, but look how much that Timothy missed the hairpin apex there. And Ivan just couldn't get the car turned back underneath. Well, Adrian Gomez is going to fancy a move, and he makes his way past Haris Skenderi, moving up into P9. And Adrian Gomez, as I said, watch him to come through the pack. Well, that's his start there. So lap 6 of 20. In what has been a fantastic start to this F2 race, you have to say, here in the Challenger League at Racing Unleashed. Adrian Gomez up now into P9. He's going to head after Tim Portsmouth. This is Mario Stanic, and poor start for him, but he's now on the back of David Verthridge, and he's going to look for an overtake if he can, maybe down the start straight, using that push to pass to his effect. Just looking back from Verthridge here, then you can just see that Stanic has got good pace today. You can clearly see he's got good pace. Verthridge is trying to... he's going to try and fend off Stanic. Let's see if any push to pass gets used. None popping up, so I don't think any's been used at the moment. So far, so good for Verthridge. Stanic's just going to try and use his pace, it looks like, to get closer and closer. It's working for him at the moment. He looks like he's got some good pace out there. I don't know what happened to him at the start of this race. If he gets on the podium, we may have to ask him what happened. David Verthridge at the moment not being able to challenge Salvatalen here, who could make it his 3rd win of the season. This is a replay of Haris Skenderi and Adrian Gomez there. Great to see at the minute from that of Mario Stanic on this comeback drive, but he's really got to put the pressure on because Taylens is starting to get away from him at the moment. Taylens is just being able to creep further forward, and Stanic may fancy that opportunity at trying to get near Taylens in this race. He now goes round David Verthwich, pretty easy with a push to pass. Yeah, Mario Stanic, job done. Relatively simple overtake there. Portsmouth going hammer and tongue, just hitting that sausage curb, managing to keep the car under control. This is with Ivan Marino, so he's managed to get past Ivan now, as Nikolai Rogoview's got past Skenderi. Ivan's not let this one go though. Portsmouth around the outside, they just bang wheels. Portsmouth keeps it out the gravel, holds on to that place. I don't know if he's going to have to re-look at that at the moment. I don't know if race control are going to tell him to maybe give that place back or give it up. This is what happened to David Verthwich and Mario Stanic. Look, camera's not picked them up. There we go. Pretty simple. Verthwich saving a push to pass usage, maybe for a little later on until the end. But Portsmouth up now to 7th place, pulling away. Adrian Gomez now on the back of Ivan Marino. And then you've got a big train of cars right behind him. Roggeview, Skenderi, Miguez, Tyler, Klaus, Melvin, not far away. Here is Nikolai. You see the cars in front just pulling away as they use push to pass. Adrian Gomez going side by side down the straight in towards turn 1 with that of Ivan Marino. Looking up the inside, Gomez has gone off the track, and again, was that another overtake on Ivan off the circuit? Ivan comes back at Gomez here, stays within the track limits. That could be another one the race control's got to look at. Around the outside goes Ivan Marino, trying to get back in front of Gomez. Can't do so there. Borges Sarzo's up to 14th place. Here comes Gomez, defending a bit now from Ivan Marino in this one, as he's now going to head after Timothy Portsmouth. Sorry, Tim Portsmouth. Timothy Spearson's just ahead of him. Mario Stanic 2nd place, but he can't close the gap at the minute to the leader. Here is Harry Skenderi watching on, as now Nikolai Roggeview goes up the inside of Marino. And another position dropped by Ivan in this race. Tumbles down the order, he dives back up the inside of Roggeview. They make contact, and that nearly opened the door for Harry Skenderi. He's going to try and tuck underneath. More contact made by the two in front. He tries to tuck underneath. Salva Taylor's fastest lap of the race. We are half distance now. And Skenderi just not close enough to take advantage of these two banging wheels. Nari will look at the run he gets on the pair of him, and Roggeview wanted to pull out. He couldn't pull out until Skenderi had charged past him. And now Roggeview comes past out of Ivan Marino. The slipstream seems pretty strong in these. I tell you what, this could bode for very good racing as the season goes on. Oh, Ivan, contact on that of Roggeview. That's allowed now. What looks to be Melvin up the inside at turn 4. And now Melvin's having a look. Who else is this? This is Tyler Klaus who's having a look as well. 3 wide into the hairpin. Down they come. Borges Zarzo may capitalise on this. Contact, and Ivan's round. Harry Skenderi now fighting hard with that of Nikolai Roggeview. 3 into 1 didn't work, and Borges Zarzo tried to make it 4 coming out the corner. And Ivan there just clipped the rear of Borges Zarzo, and around he went. And that puts to bed any points for him in this race. Harry Skenderi now going to try and look to get past Melvin to get back into the points here. Salva Taylor's fastest lap. I've not even seen him use a push-to-pass lap yet. He has, he's used 3. So he is flying out there in this F2 car. Every bit of mileage is going to help here. Marotto. Through the left-hand bend on the back of Guzman Migles. Been there for a while. Now down the bottom. This is what happened. That's Harry Skenderi. So that is the tap from Ivan. Actually, Harry Skenderi tapped that of Nikolai Rogoviu originally. Ivan Marino then taps him. There is Ivan's reaction to that one then. Unai Morato coming up and over the brow of the hill. Pretty steady race out front now. It's quieted down now. The gaps have opened up. Verthrich doing what he needs to do to stay in this podium position. He's got Guzman Migles and Morato there. We know the slipstream's pretty strong, so we'll see if anything can perk up out front at the moment, because it's pretty quiet out there. Stanic choosing push to pass. I think he's just used it for the sake of it, because he's way off the back of Salvataylant. Migles using push to pass there. That's to gain on Verthrich and pull away from Morato a little bit. Here is Guzman Migles. Coming through the hairpin. Bit closer now to David Verthrich. As they come. Whoa, bit of a slide. Bit of a slide there from Guzman. Just pushing, showing how hard he wants this. Just got into a little moment. This is Melvin down in the top 10 order in Zurich. Going to be in for a point here is Melvin. Just more points added to his tally. Morato now attacking the back of Guzman Migles, so Guzman's not been able to attack Verthrich too much at the moment. He's now got Morato attacking the back of him. Morato having a look. Verthrich thought about turning in, but I think bailed out of that one as Ivan Marino gets past Tiziano Kuznini down the order. Morato couldn't take full advantage of this one. It's just quietened down a little bit now. Zorzo gets past Skenderi. There is Borges Zorzo. Skenderi tries to come back around the outside on him. Borges Zorzo keeping it there. Borges will now be on the outside line for Craig Jones, but will have the inside for that of Portimão. And Borges Zorzo gets past Harry Skenderi, sorry. And moves up to P11. Now Tyler Klausch fancies a look. Big send from Tyler Klausch. Oh, horribly, horribly wrong from the driver in Munich. And Skenderi will not believe his luck. He managed to avoid that. Borges Zorzo was mid-corner, helpless to avoid Tyler Klausch here. Morato's got past Migles. So Skenderi gets the place back. Zorzo's re-overtaken Tyler Klausch, so did Tyler Klausch let him go? But for Borges Zorzo, well, he could have had the chance to maybe chase after that of Melvin. Look at some points. Here's a replay of Unai Morato's overtake. Pretty simple down into turn one. Easy as you like. Guzman Migles now down to fifth. Can Morato catch Verthrich and put him under some pressure? late on in this race. Migles now just hasn't had an answer through Morato since Morato's got past him. He's just dropped off the bike. Tyler Clausen, he's got to be careful. Borges Orzo's looking to gain on the back of that of Scanderi once again in towards turn one. Zorzo tries to round the outside. I don't think he did actually. Did he outbrake himself? That's going to invite Tyler Klaus up the inside for turn three. Here comes Klaus. Zorzo should have the inside line for turn four. He does indeed. Tyler Klaus going to try and hold it there. He does, just within the track limits. And Tyler Klaus gets past, but Borges Orzo is going to have that inside line for the hairpin. Gets it turned in. Is Klaus still there? Yes, he is. So a great bit of driving. Zorzo gets to drive out the corner and stays in front. It's a great little race there, says Tyler Klaus, trying to keep on that of Borges Orzo. Shake of the head there as he misses the apex off the corner. And Morato now got to try and gain some time over Verthwich. Up 16 of 20. Here comes Klaus down the start straight once again on the back of Borges Orzo. Orzo uses push to pass though, so that's not going to help Klaus get any closer. This race has just got a little quiet. Here comes Klaus through the right-hander. Back uphill they're going to come. Here's Astrid Vollenweider down in P17. But ahead of Ivan Marino here, who's been in the thick of it today, hasn't he, as Ivan? Here is Astrid, part of the sim racing couple. Along with Sasha Rumpel down in P19. Astrid raced here at Racing Unleashed a couple of seasons ago. It's great to see her back out there in the simulators. There is Sasha then, the other half of the sim racing couple. '19th place, big learning curve. It'll be a big learning curve for all these drivers today, who will be looking to take home just some experience in this F2 car, really, going into the next race. Morato now is right on the back of David Verthridge. Bit of a slide coming out the corner. Lap 17 of 20, about to be lap 18 shortly. And David Verthridge here, who's under pressure from Guzman Migles, managed to weather the storm. Unai Morato comes from a long way back. Oh, he'll be glad he's got that stopped. Here comes Morato using push to pass, and that slipstream. Verthwich goes defensively, but it's not going to matter. Unai Morato's just going to sail past him. Got the run out the final corner. Use push to pass. Here's Tim Portsmadder. And he gets himself ahead now of Timothy Spearson. So he moves himself up into P6. So changes for Morotto and for Portsmatter then. Oh, Spearson into the back of Portsmatter. Both managed to keep going, but Spearson had a big moment out the corner. Verthwich trying to come back on Morotto. Round the outside of the hairpin, wasn't going to work though, didn't get the run out of it. Now tries to get the momentum back up the hill. Does he have his nose up the inside? No, he does not. But he used his final usage of push to pass to try and get in this position. So David Verthwich now off the podium. He come under pressure from that of Guzman Migles and managed to weather the storm. Couldn't this time with Unai Morotto. Nikolai Rogoviu then here, P10 on the back of Melvin at the moment. This is just for a handful more points. In this race, Nikolai using his last usage of push to pass just to try and get ninth place back. Change to Tyler Klaus, who's a little wider than Zazo coming out the final corner. Back to Nikolai Rogoviu. He didn't do it, so he didn't get close enough going into turn one. An ultimate lap of the race now. Nikolai, oh, just a little slidey coming up over turn 4. It's kind of the same story, isn't it, here in the Challenger League? It's more of Salva Taylor's just doing what he does best. Borges also going right around the outside of Haris Skenderi. That's a lovely move from Borges also. Skenderi's going to try and come back at him. And cannot do so. Oh, nearly runs into the back of him there. Tyler Klaus watching on. Right, so Borgia, the last time he got past Skenderi, he received a big wallop from this man. Not this time round, though. Going to be interesting to see what the drivers say about this new car in the interviews after. Tyler Klaus running just over the curb there. Just able to see that some drivers keeping a tight line. Look at the slipstream come in play here. Look at that, Borges also sitting duck. Doesn't help when Skenderi and Klaus use push to pass. And will Tyler Klaus have a look? So Borges also loses 2 places. And now he might get Tyler Klaus back as he ran a bit deep into turn 1. And Borges also back up the inside of Tyler Klaus. Lovely move from him, but Klaus has 1 usage left on this final lap of the race. Tyler Klaus back to the outside line. Tim Portsmatter's lost out to Timothy Spearson. But this man, Salva Taylor, take your hat off and give him a bow once again, because he has been absolutely fantastic. And he's going to make it his 3rd race win of the season and a 4th race win for Madrid in the Challenger League. Salva Taylor wins again here at Racing Unleashed. He crosses the line to take P1. Battle here between Timothy Spearson as Mario Stanic crosses the line P2. Unai Morotto will cross the line P3. David Verthwich, Guzman Migles. And Timothy Spearson actually lost out to Tim Portsmatter right at the end. So Tim Portsmatter 6th, Timothy Spearson 7th, Adrian Gomez from Melvin, Nikolai Rogoviu rounding out the top 10. There then is Mario Stanic, who can be very happy with that one as well. As everybody else comes across line, Borges, Skenderi, Borges, Zarzo, Tyler Klaus, Roberto Miguez, Andrin Christoffel, Tiziano Kuznini, Ivan Marino, Astrid Vollenweider and Sasha Rumpel to bring home the drivers. Obviously, we lost Walter Troninger a little earlier on in the race. So what a day of racing, what a debut for the Formula 2 car. And what a week of action it's been here at Racing Unleashed. We get going again in a month's time, where we'll find out the track 10 days before the next race date. And that is going to be a crucial thing to see which the next track will be for Challenge 6 of the season. There is Salvatore Joel, race winner. What a job he did. This season, absolutely fantastic stuff from everybody out there. Mario Stanic, interesting to hear what happened as he got off the line. Because if he'd have got off the line a little better, could he have challenged Salva for the race win? Who knows? Who knows what would have happened? But Scanderi there. Good comeback. Good comeback for P2. A thumbs up from him. He'll be happy with that. Portimão there. He worked his way up the order. He had a good race. A good day if you're in Zurich. Couple of podiums. Yourself. There's Borges Arzo climbing out the simulator. Unai Morotto chatting with a few of the guys in the background. We are just awaiting the driver interviews here. As we can see then, Mario Stanic just chatting with a few of our drivers in the Zurich land. There's David Verthwich. And a high five with Fabio. We can, though, speak to our P1 and our race winner, Salva Talens, and Unai Morotto, P3, who is ready for us. Unai, P3 in this race. It was a great race for yourself, really. You had to make a few overtakes to get onto the podium.
Yeah, it was a really hard race, but I mean, I ended up the same as the qualifying. I think I did a spectacular race. Overall, I think my second or third best race since I started here.
Just talk us through the difference going from the Formula 1 car to the Formula 2 car. How did you find that today?
It was slightly hard to adapt, but not that hard. The difference wasn't really big, but some other drivers maybe had it easier, some harder, but I think I did pretty well.
It looked like you had a good race, though. Unai got past a couple of drivers to get on the podium, and that's good for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I needed some points. I want to secure a P10 at least, so this is really good. I hope I do as good as this in the next races to get more points.
Indeed. Well, Unai, P3, congratulations. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Unai Morotto there, P3. We are ready in Zurich to speak with Mario Stanic, who was P2. And the first thing, Mario, I've got to ask you is, what happened at the start?
At the start, yeah, everyone asked me that. Basically, I don't know if I upshifted twice, but instantly I was in the second gear. So there I lost a lot of momentum and I couldn't keep up. And I also needed to use a push-to-pass because I was so slow at the start.
But you managed to make your way back through that order. You didn't drop down too many places. A few incidents maybe helped you to avoid them, but a good comeback drive.
Yeah, really, at the start there was a lot of chaos in front of me, so I'm also like really glad I wasn't in that crash back there, because if I had a good start, I would have been in there and everyone would just crash into me.
How did you find the difference going from the Formula 1 car to the Formula 2 car today? Did you find it more difficult?
Not really. It wasn't really a big difference because, as you could remember last year, I was also really good at this track. And so yeah, maybe it's really good that this track came when the F2 came out, because it's basically the same racing line as the F1, so it's not really a big difference.
Not a big difference. Going forward now, what can we do at the next race? Hopefully maybe challenge more at the front. The qualifying is going to be the top 10 reversed, so you'll be starting a little lower down.
Yeah, so hopefully next time I'm gonna do the same and also push to the front and get a podium next time.
Well, Mario, congratulations. Enjoy this one. P2 for you today.
Thank you very much.
And we can head back over to Madrid for our chat with Salva. Salva, P1, pretty easy, comfortable race. I suppose no race is easy, but that one looked it.
Well, I wouldn't say it was easy. First of all, because I didn't start on pole. Mario did a great lap, so yeah, I was expecting a bit of fight on the first lap or on the first couple of laps. But then I don't know what happened. I think he spun the tires, or I don't know what really happened, but I got a better launch. So I was P1 into the first corner, and after that point, it was just trying to extend the gap. Then it was true that Mario, because I was looking at the relative and he was doing great laps, he was pretty close to my pace, but yeah, the gap at the beginning basically made everything way easier, yeah.
He said that he went into second gear at the start, which is why he got away slow. But this race today, obviously the big change going to the Formula 2 car could have really mixed this grid up a little bit more. It's gone in your favour for the championship as well, extending that gap out front. You've got to be happy with today's work.
Yeah, I'm happy, of course. It was, you know, a change compared to other races because we all got to adapt to this new car. It was fine after a couple of days, but at the beginning, yeah, it's just, you know, understanding the minimum speed on corners, the aerodynamic grip and everything, but at the end it was just fine. It's true that in this league we had a bit of, yeah, you know, TC and ABS, so those things make everything way easier. Because this car, I would say in real life, is maybe a little bit more difficult to drive than F1 because, you know, it's not as balanced aerodynamically. I don't know, but yeah, it was just fine after a couple of days. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about the championship result, of course.
Of course, going into the sixth race of the season, 3 races left. Are you kind of got one eye on the championship, or is it full focus on the next race in front of you?
Yeah, no, I'm just focusing same as every round. It's basically, yeah, just trying to put the practice and try to do the best that I can. Of course, now it's going to be a bit difficult because I know that a lot of really fast drivers are going to start at the front for the next race. So definitely will make things more difficult, yeah.
Well, Salva, P1 today, congratulations on the win. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much, guys.
Salva Taylor, your race winner, and that then ends what has been a fantastic day of action here at Racing Unleashed. Challenge 5 done and in the bag. We head to race 6, which will be announced later on in March before heading to the commentary. There we see the 15th of March for the next race. We'll find out on the 5th of March what that track will be. You will not want to miss anything as we head forward into that one. If you want to see what that track will be, please head over to our X or Instagram or TikTok to find out what that circuit will be on the 5th of March when we announce it. But what a day it's been here at Portimão. The F2 car, pretty successful, I would say, and a championship in the Racer League that got turned on its head a little bit. We'll see you in a month's time. Goodbye.